What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Legend of Zelda Wii U video. That's right, I told you I'd get it out by Monday. I told you. But yeah, so I finally got the video. The video's out. This time we're going to be going over the magic book, or the supposed magic book, that we see from the last bit of Legend of Zelda Wii U gameplay we saw back at the latest Nintendo Direct. Now, I got a couple theories on what the book could do. There's also a couple of theories that are more than likely true about what the book could be. The first one is that it's the magic book from at least related to the magic book from the Legend of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda. Which would be, that would be interesting. I mean, the magic bar is back in the game, so magic is in the game in some way. More than likely, it'll probably, well, at least hopefully, it'll be to infuse magic into your arrows, or maybe even to infuse magic into your sword. And that would be interesting if you could, like, imbue magic into your weapons, you know, and this book kind of holds your spells, or I guess your incantations, if you want to call it that. You know, but yeah, you know, it's definitely going to involve magic in some way. And the other thing is that it's connected to the Sheikah, because we do see that it looks like a Sheikah eye on the front of the book, and that definitely could, you know, basically say this connects to the Sheikah. Hopefully this means that the Sheikah is more involved in the game, even though we've had a ton of Sheikah items in the game before, and the games weren't, in the Sheikah weren't really involved at all. But since this is another game like Skyward Sword that predates Ocarina of Time, hopefully, if I'm right about that part in the timeline, then the Sheikah should still be alive, and we could see more of them in the game. If you want to know more about that, you can look at my Sheikah theory video that I did a while back. But my theories about what the book are a little bit different. The first one I have is going to be a little bit out there, but think of the book as kind of like the masks from Majora's Mask. Like, you know, you get various masks in Majora's Mask to give you various different abilities, like the Dooku mask, or the Deku mask, the Zora mask, the Goron mask, and they all give you different abilities. You know, and you know, say this book would be like a library of different magical abilities, you know, in one. So all the magical abilities that you kind of run across throughout Legend of Zelda, you know, this will be able to hold all of that, you know, without having to have a ton of masks or a ton of magical items on you. You know, the magic will be imbued into this book, and you can just use it as a tome from Fire Emblem. And not in a way like it's gonna be destructible, like the tomes and Fire Emblems degrade over time, but like the way they contain magic, essentially. But the other main theory I wanted to get into is time travel. Now stay with me here, okay? Time travel has been a big part of the Legend of Zelda for a while now, and, you know, one thing they haven't really implemented in the game too much is time travel to solve puzzles. Now, they have had time travel in like Skyward Sword and you know, other games, but this one will be more of a commonplace thing. You know, where in Skyward Sword you only really traveled a couple times through time in order to do specific things and to save Zelda. What I'm thinking of is actually using time travel to solve more normal issues and, like, say, resolve a puzzle or do a side quest. Think like this. The book has the same blue aura as, like, the time shift stones. So maybe the book could be connected to the time shift stones in some way that allows you to use their time travel powers where you are in that one location. So say you have to cross Lake Hylia, but you have no real way of getting across the water. Alright, well, the Great Bridge of Hylia is being built, but that will take years to complete it. you can use the time travel powers of the book to go forward in time, cross the Great Bridge of Hylia, and then go back to your original spot in time, and then continue on your journey. Similar to how you can use the 2D ability in A Link Between Worlds to hop between 2D and 3D to solve various puzzles and get to new locations. The same dynamic could be used with time travel with the book. Say you want to travel to a specific point, but there are mountains in the way. So you can go back in time to before the mountains formed, cross that point, then go back to where you were in time and continue on. Or say you have to go back in time to talk to a character that's already gone, or maybe the character is dead and you can't communicate with them through normal means, so you use time travel to go back. Or say, speaking of time travel, it could be something like we saw in the Erased anime, where you have to go back in time to stop something from happening. But that is a bit too specific. I've just been watching Erased, so it's still fresh in my mind. But using time travel to solve various puzzles will be a very interesting dynamic for The Legend of Zelda Wii U, and it will definitely be kind of game changing, even though it is something that they have used before. So, yeah, that's about it for this theory. This one was kind of a short one. I'm actually working on another series that I'm going to start. Well, not another series. It's going to still be a Legend of Zelda Wii U series. But the timeline thing has been itching at me lately. And the timeline project is kind of like, my own version of the timeline. Not the Gospel Truth timeline that we already have. We already know that timeline is the true timeline of Zelda. But just kind of my own little pet project. So what I'll be doing is a series of videos going over the original timeline, leading into me going over my own personal view on the timeline. That is gonna be probably coming up in the next couple. Probably the next video will be the first one of that series, hopefully. But that's about it for this. Like, comment, subscribe. Look out for my anime videos, because I totally dig doing those. I like doing those videos, and they're quick and easy to do. So I'll be doing some more of those. I have another Fire Emblem video coming up. So like, comment, subscribe, and as always, folks, keep it real.